What's going on, guys? Jurassic here. Today we're back to EVE Online. Alright, so we have a few new modifications to our ship here, so let's go and see our fitting. So it turns out the destroyer class ships are able to hold a lot of turrets. I left 2 slots open because I didn't want to fill up too much on just like tier 1 turrets. Eventually our research is going to complete and we can move up from the tier 1 to the tier 2 Gatling cannons. So I think 5 for now is good enough. Should be a little bit overkill since we've been slaughtering things with 2. Alright, so let's go and talk to the sister of Elytra. We've gone a long way, but we found the key to the survivor. Her name is Taki Karen. She was the engineer on the main ship from the ruined fleet. She's signed on the crew of the Heartbreak. She may be the only one who knows what really happened. You know the drill by now. Get out there, get her before someone else does. I'm fairly certain there'll be someone there to shoot at you. Well, at least she gave us that warning. He's 223 ISK if you do it within 4 hours and 13 minutes. So that's pretty good paying too. Get me out of here! This thing's gonna explode any second now! Well, that's not good. Alright, so we have a few hostiles that we have to take out. Alright, so all it says you need her in your cargo hold. I'm guessing you have plenty of time to actually collect her. Now, the last couple of missions, it showed that it showed the person like floating in space like that. But the thing is, I had to actually like fully finish the mission before it actually worked out for us. So let's just turn all of our cannons on and make this guy pay. I guess the one downside is when you start missing, you're going to be missing a bunch when you use a bunch of cannons like this, but at the same time, when everything hits, you're going to slaughter. So I know this game has PvP also that we might be able to get into like later on. I'm not entirely sure how that would go though. Obviously the destroyer class ships probably are going to be like your best advantage in the game. I don't know if you're going to be able to really compete too much with like the subscription to the alpha members though from the Omega. But it seems like this ship can relatively hold its own, so you might be able to actually do something. Alright, so that's 10 kilometers, 8 kilometers. They're going to be coming towards us. We could just sit here and wait. Slowly start approaching them, how about that? So far, it seems that our armor is just strong enough to where we haven't actually needed to, or our shields are strong enough that we haven't even needed to really use our armor repair guy too much. Now, this ship technically could be taking on like multiple guys at the same time as well. I don't know how well the tracking is in the game though, if you'd be able to do that or not. It's like this guy, for example. I think it looks like you can split the fire like that. That would be cool. Alright, you know, let's just focus on one at a time. That makes it easier for the camera. All the guns on the destroyer are on the top and the sides of the ship if you guys are trying to figure out where it's actually coming from. Once again, be sure to include ammo inside of your cargo hold. That way you're able just to right click and reload whenever it's time for it. I suppose another way we could do this is technically just use 2 guns like we were doing, and then just use the other 2 whenever it comes time to it. But I feel like having all these guys working at the same time just looks way too cool. By the way, if you guys are interested in space games, we are going to be posting Star Citizen here soon, as well as daily content for EVE Online. Alright, so once they all get eliminated, it is time to rescue the lost engineer. So typically the easiest way to figure out what you're supposed to be doing is you see this little spawn container symbol here. That's where you're supposed to be going to find her. And I will rescue the engineer. Nice. Alright, so start a conversation and complete the mission. Excellent work. Karen is being transported to a more secure System V location for a full debriefing with our people. Don't worry, we'll keep Concord well informed of our progress. Request a mission? Remember the strange data core you found? We've determined that it must have been made by a rogue drone of some kind. I'm sending you to the Galente space where I've contacted someone who can help you continue this investigation. Her name is Delphine Xarasier, an agent for the Cyrano drone, and the daughter of the chief researcher. We've tapped out our other leads for now, which leaves us in need of more information on the drones, and she can certainly give you that. Okay, so this one's going to pay 247,000 ISK and send us on to a new facility. Alright, so once you make it to your destination, you need to talk to Delphine Xarasier, which is going to be down here. Literature said you needed more information about some kind of drone problem. The sisters have referred a few promising capsulers in the past, so I'm willing to give you a chance. But I can't do anything unless this mess I'm dealing with has been taken care of. If you could retrieve some drones from Harerget, that would speed things up considerably. You see, every drone in that system has ceased responding to signals. That just doesn't happen with Federation technology. Unless the drones have been destroyed or our research and development team needs whatever components still existing in order to analyze the remains. Fly out there and bring back one of the drones or any parts that might remain. You'll need to be careful. There are no signs of other ships in the system, so I have no idea what could be destroyed or our drones. Okay, so this one pays 224,000 ISK, so that's still pretty good too. Oh, it's not actually down, it's like hacked or something. We're supposed to be fighting these things. I was wondering why we couldn't pick it up. Excellent, so let's target the next one. It's just easier to have it so the camera's locked onto it before you start shooting things. Alright, so another one's taken out, and one last guy. Well, they weren't broken before, but they're definitely broken now. So we went around and looted the 3 that were attacking us. They didn't actually have any components, so the only one is going to be dropping is the one that has a little box here signifying that it has cargo inside of it. So we'll collect you. Cretaceous, the RG team has been waiting for your return. Are you available for another mission? A recently established colony still depending on the Federation support for items they can't produce yet. Their last shipment of medical supplies was lost en route, and we think it may be due to rogue drone activity. Regardless, this batch of supplies needs to get through. Lives are depending on it. Alright, so location is going to be the Harerget place that we just were. Now you notice that it doesn't actually track sometimes. You're just going to have to untrack and retrack it, then it'll start working. So you need to have antibiotics inside of your cargo hold. So we should have an item hanger and you want to move that over to your ship. And then we can undock. Alright, so we need to go over to the Colonial Supply Deposit. Alright, so from our ship, you want to drag the antibiotics over to the supply container. And start a conversation. We should be able to do this remotely, which is super cool. I told you I'd help if you helped me. Well, the Cermentis Corporation has just kidnapped one of the Cernodrone's top minds, Dr. Aspia Castile. She was analyzing those drone parts that you recovered earlier. The information she has is crucial to figuring out what's going on with the drones, but the Cermentis aren't going to let her go without a fight. They're planning to take her to the installation at Harerget. I want you to get there first, destroy their base and the ship's guardians before the transit ship arrives. Lair of the Snakes. That's a cool questline. Alright, so we have several hostiles inside the area here. Alright, so let's just do the approach strategy, because I feel like we can tank majority of the damage, especially with the fact that we have all these turrets up and running. Once again, we do have ammo inside of our cargo bay, so all you have to do is right click and click on reload, and it'll pull from the ammo in the cargo bay, but for now I don't see a need to it, so we'll be good. Alright, so it looks like you actually... Well, you know what, we'll just attack the one that we were approaching first. I feel like with all these guns, as long as we're all like locked into the same target, we should be able to kill them before we actually take too much damage. Although you do have to be sure that you're actually in range, so that could be a little bit of a deal. Maybe that's why they prefer the orbit inside of the tutorial. I think the main thing is whenever you have warp drive on, sometimes you'll go outside of the range whenever you're shooting a bunch, so it's best just to turn this off once you get to your destination. That way you can actually do fighting a little bit better. I'm really glad that you can just clip through objects inside this game, because we'd be crashing so much. who's the target to? Oh, no. Let's attack the ships first, then we'll get the bunker down. There's actually a decent amount of things we're going to have to blow up here. Our shield is still holding in strong. Looks like we're going to have to get over inside this building here. That way we can actually start shooting them again. There we go. So we're going to get to the point where we're actually going to be fighting like other destroyers that have several guns in the back of their ship, because that could be a reason why using like stronger ships is definitely going to be a thing later on. Alright, hold on, let's lock onto the target, because it seems like we are missing quite a bit. Armor repair guy. Which honestly, this ship we should be able to run it the whole time. I think it's just this dude's ship is just super powerful. Oh, our guns were split. Some of them were shooting the research laboratory still. That's weird. Even though I auto locked onto like the ship itself, it still was trying to destroy the bunker instead. Looks like it's still actually going for that. Alright, well I guess we can just take the damage then. Let's do Corporal Patrol. Let's target you next. Are we all? No, we're still going to be. Alright, we're fine. So our armor is. Oh. Definitely looking a little rough there. Worst case scenario, we can always warp out of here, but we should be fine. Alright, so it turns out we're gonna have to get our revenge. So let's go and lock on, and the max amount of guns you're able to have on a destroyer is actually 7. Yeah, 7. So this time all we are running is an armor repair guy. We have our micro warp drive still. I bought a whole new set of cannons. We're going to get this mission done. I think the problem is we kept accidentally locking on to the facility that we're also supposed to be destroying instead of the scout vehicles here, and that was just causing us to take massive amount of damage. So hopefully now we are actually able to fight back better. Try to stay far enough away from the building. These little warp drive holders here are definitely what's going to be causing us some issues. Alright, there we go. One's taken out, logging on to the next one. I don't care if you guys hold us in one spot. We are on a mission to kill all of you. Alright, another one destroyed. Moving on to the next. We can re-equip our cool cosmetic skin and stuff. It's just that I had to warp all the way back to the original moon where our ship was found, since the stop in between didn't actually have anything decent for sale that was relatively cheap. So that's the main reason why we had to go all the way back. Alright, so armor repair guy turned on. And also it turns out that the one component we had on the low end was actually making it so we had aluminum frames, so we were faster to teleport around the world, but the problem is that means the hull is actually weaker. So I think that's why we ended up blowing up so fast once our armor was like fully depleted. Alright, so that's another one taken out. See if we can take out the soldier real quick. Our armor's at 30%, so as long as our guy is able to repair fast enough, we should be fine. We have all of our guns working right now, though. They're all completely missing. Why are you attacking the infantry? No, attack this guy. The dude literally right next to us. Alright, fine. For whatever reason, it's like diehard stuck on wanting to attack the infantry, so we'll just do the infantry. Alright, so 13, so let's go and speed up some. Once we get within range, we'll turn on our cannons. Alright, so turn you off. We need our capacitor back immediately. That way we can actually start repairing some stuff.
The capacitor is empty. The capacitor is empty.
Well, it looks like we were going to be waiting a little bit. Oh, so now you attack the soldier, really? Alright, so that should be plenty of charge. That way we can actually turn on our armor repair guy. Our structure's at 314, slowly counting down here. There we go, now we're starting to get some armor back. Now there's only one guy left, so hopefully all these guns are actually managing to attack the same guy this time around. I feel like as long as they're all actually targeting the same target, everything's going to die. That's fine, we only got one guy left. We're slowly approaching him. .91. Come on, autocannons, now is a really good time to start doing damage. Woo! Alright, so we've taken out all of those, but the problem is more reinforcements are coming. Alright, so it looks like our first guy is going to be this one, who will immediately start to attack us. So let's just lock onto the target. And unleash the Krakens! Alright, shut up with all these weapons, good. Yeah, you'll be dead. Logging on to the next guy. I don't think they're going to want to use their little web trap on us anymore. So theoretically, I mean, it disrupts us from being able to go too far, but the problem is, as long as we get within range of them, all of our cannons are going to shred through them. As long as they're actually attacking the guys close to us and not the ones that are like too far away from us, that's where we had a little bit of issues last time with. Looks like we're doing a ton of damage to this dude though. So the Chief Scout is slowly starting to evaporate its health. His armor is about to be fully gone, and now it's just the structure barely remaining. 37, 13, 2%, and wipeout. Alright, so now we have 2 more patrols left over. I feel like I probably could have stayed in the area, but I was playing more on the cautious side this time around since I didn't want to have to like completely rebuy everything. So I went back, got repaired, came back. That's why we have full hull integrity. I feel like that is pretty essential though. If we had warped out the first time, we would have survived. However, I was not expecting to actually take damage. I thought we'd be able to out-tank majority of the damage inside this area. Since the other missions, it seemed like we were like way overkill for most of the stuff. Alright, they're all dead. We got our revenge. Cretaceous, come talk to me when you finish your current mission. Very efficient, Cretaceous. If you're willing to take another job for me, I have more detail on the location of Aspia Castile. Alright guys, that's going to be it for today. If you guys enjoyed, make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.